Hello friends, and welcome to another conversation video. This time I'm with my friend Kamga, and he is just a really cool guy. You should definitely check out his YouTube channel. He really speaks from his heart over there. So, hi Kamga!
Hi, Katie. Thank you so much for having me here. I don't know what to say. I feel honored and I feel overjoyed that we are finally doing this, right?
Dude, I know you are busy. Everyone has a lot of things to do, so I'm just amazed that anyone finds time to do this project with me. Where are you from originally, and where do you currently reside?
Where I'm from and where I live, well, that's a pretty simple answer. Uh, Originally, I'm from Cameroon. I was born there in the west central part of Africa. It's a bilingual country. You can find out about it on Wikipedia, Cameroon. And I currently live in Pueblo, Colorado, in the US. I moved here 2 years ago.
Very cool. Oh, such rich and interesting experiences you've had between the two countries. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, that's a tough one because I'm trying to think about all the ideas, about myself and the image. But what I can say is this is that I am on a journey on the pursuit of meaning and connection is my new tagline for YouTube. And I've been trying to find something that ties in everything I do. So for myself, I would say I am a writer and I think through writing. Writing helps me think clearly, and I use that as a way to explore the world around me. And YouTube, for example, is one of the way to explore the world. And so that's what I would say. I'm on pursuit of meaning and connection, and that defines a lot of who I am.
It's just so cool how I feel like I have so many kindred spirits out there that I had no clue about. That we have so much in common being strangers in a foreign land and feeling so much and finding so much through writing. It's just really neat. Sorry, I keep blabbing. So, who is someone who has really inspired you in your life? Don't think too much. First person who comes to mind, just go.
That one is easy. The first person who inspired me, the person I would say, I could say my dad. He's an inspiration to me, of course. But one writer who stood out for me on my journey as a creative is James Altucher. And I talk about James Altucher a lot on nearly every single platform because he exposed me to kind of writing that I never knew was possible. It's something that before I found out that James was online blogging, writing about his life, his self-deprecatory style that allows people to laugh at his pain but still learn from his lessons. Like, this guy has lost millions, made millions. Like, he's made millions and lost millions. He started businesses, a bunch of them have failed. He's gotten divorced like probably 3 times now. And James inspired me by showing me what is possible when you choose to use your story as an inspiration for others. And that was mind blowing. That was 2011. It changed the way I saw the internet. It made me start my blog and led me to the path that I am on right now.
I need to look this guy up. I'm so fascinated. So amazing how many special people there are out there. So, if you would get a tattoo, what would it be of?
That's funny because I actually have two tattoos. This is faith and this is value. I don't know if you can see it. Faith and value. And so I got these sometime around 2000. Actually, I know exactly when I got it. 2012. That was when I just started my journalism program, and I actually want to get more. So if I want to answer the question is first, I already have tattoos, which is, I don't know. People think that because I wear glasses and I like books, I will not tattoo myself, which is weird. But yeah, yeah, I do have these tattoos, and I know you do have some. Not sure, but yeah. What does your tattoo say, and when did you get it?
Very cool tats. I'm really interested to hear more about what value means to you. So, yes, I have just this one, and it is from a memory from my time as a missionary in France. This is a Huguenot cross, and it's a symbol of the Protestants against the it wasn't really Catholics versus Protestants. It was really more state versus people, and the Protestants wanted to live their faith the way that they wanted, But they were like, no, that's wrong. And it was a whole thing. It's the reason why there's, okay, I won't go into the whole history lesson. But this symbolizes, this is for the king, saying we are French, we serve the king, but we want to follow the Holy Spirit in how we do it. There's a lot of symbolism all over this, but my favorite thing is the hearts. The blank space is hearts, symbolizing that without love, it's all meaningless. Yeah. So, what is something you've always wanted to do?
What is something I've always wanted to do is to pilot a helicopter. For some reason, I don't know how. It's not something that we do in Cameroon. It's not something that I studied, but I just have this need, this desire to one day be able to get into a helicopter and turn it on and fly it. And I have never really talked about this, so yeah, I don't know how that makes me feel right now. Does it surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me. I think it sounds amazing. How many people dream of flying? How do you make people laugh?
So the person I make the person I make laugh the most, the person I make the most laugh, the person who's laugh, I don't know what I'm talking about. But the person who actually enjoys that part of me of making people laugh is my wife. And I do that by being really goofy. Like I make voices, I make faces. But even when I was with my friends back in Cameroon, generally speaking on the phone right now, I think I do a lot of exaggerations of situations and I get very dramatic. that I almost go into this phase of like I'm a drama queen and that is my mind. I'm the drama queen and I make these extraordinarily weird, ironic situations. I just make them worse. So for example, if somebody tells me, for example, we could be standing together at the I don't know, barber shop or something, and we're talking, and I will find a way to paint an image where the barber was thinking about something that was relating to us, but in a very unreasonable way. And I don't know how to describe it, but I do that a lot. I like putting myself in a position where I'm the butt of the joke, but I don't make it in a way that feels like I'm needy, which is a very fine balance to find. But that's how I make people laugh. My siblings, I'm always, goofy. I think goofy is the word. Yeah.
Well, I hope one day to get a demonstration of this incredible goofiness. So now a question completely changing directions. Is there a historical person, which historical person would you like to meet and just sit down and talk with? And what would you ask them or tell them?
I like this one. So, Ada Lovelace, Countess, daughter of Lord Byron, the first programmer, she's the person I would like to speak with. I don't know much about her, but ever since the day I heard about her story, I've always wanted to find out how it must have been to be a woman at that time and to do the kind of work that she did. Like, how did you feel to be the daughter of this, I don't know, figure? But I guess at the time he wasn't a figure yet because it was, people become, I guess, historical figures after they die. But Ada Lovelace, Countess, I think she was a Countess, Ada. Yes, I would like to have a conversation with her. I want to actually name my daughter Ada, but my wife doesn't want it, so I'm just very sulky about it. But yeah, that's someone I want to be with. I don't program. I'm learning how to build websites. I've always tried to learn how to do HTML, but for some reason, I'm just attracted to this lady and what she was able to do at that time and how she was able to see the future, basically. So that, yeah, there's her. That's the person I would like to hang out with. So my first question for you is, what has changed for you since you started taking YouTube seriously?
The biggest thing I think is just that I've discovered how many wonderful people there are out there, and I've just been able to make these connections, and I've learned how to be more careful about how much honesty I put out there and how to find a better balance of that. I've learned to kind of stop and think a bit more. I've learned so many things. So many things have changed in my mind, but it's kind of funny. I feel like I have always taken it seriously to a degree. Like I've always been consistent in these almost 2 years. It's September. I'm recording this in September. It'll probably go up the end of this month. And December is my 2-year anniversary, and I've never really I've never missed a week. Maybe I've been like one day late of a week a few times. But I've never felt burdened by it either. I'm blabbering. Let's move on.
My second question is, where would you like to visit before you die? Like, is there a place, do you have a place where you would really like to go see and just be there? And why? Why that particular place?
The first place that comes to mind is Scotland, Braemar Castle, because it was built by my ancestors. My maiden name is Erskine, and I've wanted to go there forever, ever since I found out that our ancestors had a castle and it still stood. And I've never been to Scotland. The closest I've been was Ireland, and I looked across the water once while I was there, and someone told me Scotland was on the other side of that, and I was so close and yet so far. My heart longs for Scotland.
The third question is, how do you deal with disappointment? How do you deal with circumstances that don't work out for you when you plan things and you have expectations and they don't work out? Like, how do you handle that?
I feel like I work hard to try to not get my hopes up about things, so when they do get up, it just kind of makes me want to avoid everything. And it's like a joke my dad said, aim low, that way you'll never be disappointed. It used to be really hard when I would want to call my family when I was in Europe, and we didn't Skype, and internet was unreliable. Skype costed money, phone cards cost money, and I would finally get an opportunity to call them, and then nobody would answer, and I would just be crying. I would be crushed. So crying, that's a big one. That's something I do when I'm disappointed.
Down, go down. No. We're not talking about this here today.
Oh, puppy! I want to pet your dog.
Do you have a favorite movie or TV show, something that you can watch all the time and still not get bored of? Do you have one, and which one is it?
I'm not generally one to rewatch TV shows because there's so many interesting things out there and there's so little time. But a show that I really love that I actually am rewatching is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. Such good songs.
And the last question is, what is something about being a parent, a mom, that most people get completely wrong?
I don't know if most people get this wrong, but it is a big thing that people get wrong, that some people think that their kids are just extensions of themselves, and that if you just teach them well, then they will do what they're supposed to do and you won't have any troubles or stress, And they see kids acting out and they're like, my kid would never do such a thing. Like, from the moment they were born premature and they were in their tiny little heated bed. Well, they were tiny in this big heated bed. And I remember when I saw one of them open her eyes and I was like, ooh, she opened her eyes. I can see what her eyes look like. And I realized, like, in that moment, she chose when to do that. Like, she's her own person. And kids are so full of strength and willpower and personality, and it's so much harder than people think it's going to be. Even when they think it's going to be hard, it's still going to be harder than they think. So a big thanks to Kamga for doing this video with me. A big thanks to you for watching. I will include links for him that you can check out, his Medium blog, his YouTube channel. If there's anything else down there, it's probably worth checking out. So always read the description box because you never know what amazing things will be inside. So thank you, and hugs, and nostrils of death.